Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Leda.
And I'm Fenrir. We're really glad you're here today.
Today's topic is something everyone knows. Everyone has experienced it. A day or a week when everything goes wrong.
Your alarm doesn't ring, you spill your coffee, you miss your bus, your boss is unhappy with you. Everything, all at once.
We call this a bad day, or sometimes a very bad week. Today we talk about what happens when everything goes wrong and what we can do about it.
This is a slow, clear English conversation for A2 and B1 learners. Let's begin. Warm up.
Fenrir, I have to be honest with you. This week was not great for me.
Really? What happened?
Okay, so Monday. I woke up late because I forgot to set my alarm. So I rushed to get ready. I skipped breakfast, I ran out the door, and then I realized I forgot my keys inside.
Oh no.
Yes, I had to call my neighbor. She had a spare key, but it took 30 minutes, so I was very late. And then, on the way to work, it started raining, and I had no umbrella.
Of course you didn't.
Of course I didn't. And I arrived at work wet, late, and hungry. And my first meeting was already starting.
That is a proper bad morning.
And that was just Monday. The week continued like that. Everything just kept going wrong.
I know that feeling very well. There are weeks like that where you think, what is happening? Why is everything falling apart at the same time?
Exactly. So that's our topic today. When everything goes wrong, what do we do?
Main content. Beat 1. What does when everything goes wrong feel like? Let's start with the feeling. When everything goes wrong, how does it feel? Can you describe it?
It feels like you're losing control. Like the day is happening to you. You're not choosing anything. Things are just falling on top of you, one after another.
Yes, and there's a kind of tiredness that comes with it. Not just physical tiredness, but emotional tiredness. Like, I'm so tired of fixing problems.
Right. And sometimes you feel embarrassed too. Like when something goes wrong at work in front of other people, you feel stupid, even if it wasn't your fault.
And you feel a little hopeless, like this is never going to get better. Today is bad, tomorrow will also be bad. Everything will always be bad.
Yes, that feeling of it's never going to end. Even though you know logically that it will end, in the moment it feels permanent.
That is actually an important thing to notice. When we are in a bad moment, our brain tells us this moment will last forever. But it won't. It never does.
That's a really good point.
Quite very hard in that moment.
Quite very hard in that moment. So, what are the common things that go wrong? Let's talk about some examples. Things that happen to everyone.
Work problems. Something goes wrong with a project. You make a mistake in front of your boss. You miss a deadline.
Technology problems. Your computer crashes. Your phone dies. The internet stops working right before an important call.
Money problems. An unexpected bill arrives. Something breaks and you have to pay to fix it. More money going out than coming in.
Health problems. You get sick at the worst time. A headache on the day you have a big presentation. A cold the week you have the most work. Relationship problems. An argument with a friend. A misunderstanding with someone you love. Feeling disconnected from people around you. And sometimes it's all of these at the same time, in the same week. Yes, that is the special kind of terrible, when it's not just one thing, it's everything, all at once. Why does that happen, do you think? Why do bad things seem to come together? I think partly it's real. Stress from one area of your life does affect other areas. If you're not sleeping well because of work stress, you make more mistakes. If you make more mistakes, you feel worse. And then you have less energy for everything else. So it's like a chain. One bad thing connects to the next. Exactly. And partly, I think it's also how we see things. When we're in a bad mood, we notice the bad things more. We miss the small good things. So it feels like everything is going wrong. But maybe not everything actually is. That's interesting. So sometimes it's real, and sometimes it's our brain making it feel worse than it is. Both. Usually both.
Sounds exhausting.
It was. And then the launch happened, and it didn't go the way I imagined. Not many people responded. After all that work, the result was small.
How did you feel?
Honestly, I wanted to quit. Not just the project, everything. I thought, I'm not good at this. I should just stop trying.
But you didn't quit.
No, but it took me a few weeks to feel okay again. I needed time to just be sad about it. And then slowly I started to see what I could learn from it.
What did you learn?
A few things. Back up your files, always. That's lesson 1.
A very practical lesson.
Very practical. And lesson 2, ask for help earlier. Don't wait until you're completely falling apart. People want to help. You just have to ask.
And lesson 3?
The result of your first try is almost never what you imagined. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you failed. It means you're learning.
That's a really mature way to look at it, though I imagine it didn't feel mature in the moment.
In the moment, I was just eating crackers in bed and feeling very sorry for myself.
Crackers in bed is a completely valid response to a bad week.
Thank you. I think so too. Okay, your turn. Tell me a time when everything went wrong for you.
Right. So this was several years ago. I was living in a new city. I had just started a new job. And in the first month, almost everything went wrong.
A new city and a new job at the same time. That sounds very stressful already.
It was. I didn't know anyone there. The apartment I rented had problems. The heating didn't work properly and it was winter, so I was cold every evening. And the job was harder than I expected.
How was it harder?
The team communicated very differently from what I was used to. In my previous job, people were very direct. They said exactly what they thought. In this new team, everything was more subtle. People hinted at things. I often didn't understand what they actually wanted from me.
That's really frustrating. You're working hard, but you're not sure if you're doing it right.
Exactly. And after a few weeks, my manager had a meeting with me. She said, gently but clearly, that she was concerned, that I seemed disconnected from the team.
Oh, how did that feel?
Terrible. I was trying so hard, and to hear that it wasn't working, in a new city where I had no friends, in a cold apartment, it was a lot.
What did you do?
I almost handed in my notice. I wrote the resignation letter. I had it ready, but I didn't send it that night. I went to sleep. And in the morning, I decided to try one more thing first.
What was that?
I asked my manager for a proper conversation, not about what was going wrong, but about how the team worked, how they preferred to communicate, what they actually needed from me. I asked her to help me understand.
And did she?
Yes, completely. She was actually very kind about it. She said she hadn't realized how different my previous environment was. We made a plan together, and things improved. Not immediately, but slowly.
So the thing that helped was asking, communicating.
Yes, the resignation letter is still on my computer somewhere, but I never sent it. And that job ended up being one of the best experiences of my career.
Wow, and you almost left because of one bad month.
One very cold, very lonely, very confusing month. Yes.
That's such a good reminder. The worst moments are often right before things get better. It does seem that way sometimes. Let's talk about what to actually do when you're in the middle of it, when everything is going wrong. What helps? First thing, and this sounds simple, but it's important, stop and breathe. When too many things go wrong at once, we tend to panic. We try to fix everything at the same time, and that makes things worse. Yes. So stop, take a breath, and ask yourself, what is the most important problem right now? Just one. Start there. One thing at a time. Not everything, just one.
Second, separate what you can control from what you cannot. This is very important. Some things that go wrong, you can fix them. You have power over them. But some things you cannot change. The weather, other people's decisions, things that already happened.
And spending energy on things you can't control just makes you more tired.
Exactly. So focus your energy on what you can actually do something about.
Third, and this is mine, be honest about how you feel. Don't pretend you're fine when you're not. If you're having a terrible week, it's okay to say so. To yourself, to a friend.
Yes, pretending everything is fine takes energy too. Energy you don't have when things are already difficult.
And when you're honest with people around you, they can actually help. Like Fenrir's story. When he finally talked to his manager, things started to improve.
Yes, the conversation I was afraid to have turned out to be the most useful one.
Fourth, give yourself permission to rest. When everything is going wrong, sometimes the best thing you can do is stop, rest, sleep, eat something good, go for a walk.
We often think, I don't have time to rest. There are too many problems. But when you're exhausted, you make more mistakes. You see everything more negatively. Rest is not wasting time. Rest is part of solving the problem.
Rest is part of solving the problem. I like that.
And fifth, remind yourself that this is temporary. It feels permanent, but it isn't. You have had bad days before, and they ended. This one will too.
That's actually really comforting, because when you're in it, you forget. You forget that you've survived hard things before. You've survived every bad day you've ever had. Your success rate is 100% so far. 100%. That's actually a very good statistic. Quite encouraging, I think. 5. The small things that help. I want to talk about the small things too. Not the big strategies, but the little things that help on a bad day. Good idea. What works for you? Okay, when I'm having a really bad day, the first thing I do is make a cup of tea or coffee. Something warm. It sounds so small, but there's something about holding a warm cup that just calms me down a little.
The warmth is comforting. Yes, I understand that.
And then I try to do one very small task. Something easy, like clean my desk or reply to one simple email, just to feel like I accomplished something. Because when everything is going wrong, you feel like you can't do anything right. So you do one small thing right, and it helps.
That's a good technique, rebuilding confidence through small wins.
Exactly. What about you? What are your small things?
I go outside, even just for 10 minutes, even if the weather is not good. There's something about being outside, moving, seeing the sky, that changes how I feel. The problem is still there when I come back, but I see it differently.
Yes, a change of scenery really helps. Even a short walk.
And I call someone, usually my sister. I don't always talk about the problem. Sometimes I just talk about something else. Her life, her children, what she had for dinner. And after 20 minutes, I feel less alone.
That's really sweet. Just the connection with someone you love.
Yes, a bad day feels much heavier when you carry it alone.
That's such a good way to say it. A bad day feels much heavier when you carry it alone.
Other small things, eating a proper meal. When everything is going wrong, people often forget to eat, or they eat badly. But a good meal makes a real difference to how you feel.
Yes, hungry and stressed is a terrible combination.
Very terrible. And this might sound strange, but sometimes I write down everything that went wrong in a list, just to get it out of my head and onto paper.
Why does that help?
Because in your head, the problems feel very big and very blurry. When you write them down, you see them more clearly. And sometimes you realize it's actually only 3 problems, not 20. 3. And that feels more manageable.
That's really smart. The brain makes things feel bigger than they are sometimes.
Much bigger. Paper is more honest than the brain in a panic.
Paper is more honest than the brain in a panic. That should be on a poster somewhere.
I'll look into it.
Okay, last thing I want to talk about. What do bad days and bad weeks actually teach us? Is there something valuable in them?
I think yes, though it's very hard to see it while you're inside one.
What have you learned from your hardest times?
Resilience, that's the big one. Every hard time you survive, you learn that you can survive hard things, and that knowledge stays with you. The next time something goes wrong, there's a small part of you that says, I've been through worse. I'll be okay.
Yes, you build a kind of confidence from difficult experiences. A quiet confidence, not the loud kind. The kind that comes from knowing you can handle things.
Also, difficult times show you who really supports you. When everything is going well, it's easy for everyone to be around. But when things go wrong, you see very quickly who stays, who calls, who asks if you're okay.
That's so true. Hard times are very honest about relationships.
And I think bad days also make the good days more real. If everything was always perfect, you wouldn't notice the good moments. You'd take them for granted.
Like after a terrible rainy week, a sunny day feels incredible, when normally you might not even notice it.
Exactly. Contrast is everything. The good feels better because you know what the difficult feels like.
I also think bad times teach you what actually matters to you. When everything is stripped away, when you're sick or stressed or things are falling apart, you realize very quickly what is important and what isn't.
Yes, the things you worried about before suddenly seem less important, and the things you took for granted suddenly seem very precious.
Health, the people you love, simple comforts, a warm cup of tea,
A sunny day after a rainy week.
crackers in bed.
There we are again.
Crackers in bed are very important, Fenrir.
I'm starting to believe you. Okay, let's review what we talked about today. We talked about what it feels like when everything goes wrong. That sense of losing control, feeling tired, and feeling like it will never end.
We shared our own stories. I had a terrible week with a broken laptop and a sick body and a project that didn't go the way I planned.
And I almost quit a new job because of a cold apartment and a difficult first month, but a good conversation changed everything.
We talked about what to do when everything goes wrong. Stop and breathe. Focus on one thing. Separate what you can control from what you can't. Be honest about how you feel. Rest. And remind yourself, this is temporary.
We talked about the small things that help. A warm drink, a short walk, a phone call with someone you love, a proper meal.
And writing your problems on paper. And we talked about what bad days teach us: resilience, true friendship, gratitude for the good moments, and clarity about what actually matters.
So if you're having a bad day right now, we see you. We know how it feels.
And we promise it will not last forever. It never does.
Take it one small step at a time.
And maybe have some crackers.
Or tea.
Or both.
Both is fine.
Thank you so much for listening today. We really appreciate you being here.
Until next time, take care of yourself. Outro.
If you enjoyed this conversation, please give it a like. It really helps our channel grow.
And subscribe if you want more slow, clear English conversations every week.
We have a question for you in the comments today. What is one small thing that helps you on a bad day? Tell us. We would love to read your answers.
We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.